Hey everybody, Scott here, and welcome to an impromptu episode of Greyhaus Literary Videos, or Greyhaus Educational Video Series. You know what we're talking about. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about what agents, especially myself, what I'm looking for when it comes to clients. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So I think let's just kind of walk through this process. Is that when we start out that submission process, it's all just about the manuscript. And really, a lot of you have even been told that, right? If your manuscript is good, you're going to get signed, period. And while that is certainly the starting point, there is a lot more to this. Okay, there's a heck of a lot more that I'm looking at when I'm thinking about getting a client and signing on to a client. So if you're wondering why you see so many people getting rejections and people and agents going, gosh, we're looking for, and everybody's screaming, well, I've got this. This is kind of that piece of the puzzle that we want to talk about. Okay. So obviously you submit a story to me, you submit a project, you're going to send it via a query. Maybe I request a partial, I don't know, something along those lines. I'm obviously going to read your story and I'm going to look at that story. I'm going to read the synopsis and we're going to build off of that. But here comes the bigger piece. Remember that author-agent relationship, or even the author-editor relationship, goes far beyond just that single story. That relationship focuses on a long-term career. We know, for example, that you're not going to you're going to maybe make an advance off of your first book, but where we start to see the real profit for you as an author or for me as an agent are books 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth, right? That's where we're going to end up making our profits, not off of that first book, right? So we want to find that person for the long haul. So when we start looking at clients, and let's say that I like your partial, I'm going to start going back and I'm going to go back and look at that initial query letter. And I'm going to kind of see, where's this person going to with their career? What have they told me about themselves that show that they might be a perfect person for this long-term relationship? And if it's not in that query letter, when I request maybe a full from somebody, I'm going to maybe ask for a little bit more. Tell me more about your writing. Tell me more about some other projects that you're working on. Where do you see yourself in about the next 5 years? We want kind of that personal conversation going on. We're also at the same level looking to see, adjust my hand there, looking for that level of professionalism. Because we want to actually look to see how much work are we going to have to put into this author to be successful. And again, that's not just the work that it's needed to get the manuscript ready, although that's a big piece, right? If I look at a story and I know that I'm going to need to spend 6 months to a year on a manuscript, remember, that's all free work. That's all, that's 100% free. Until I sell your book, everything's free. So I have to kind of weigh that out. Is that worth the effort? Along the same lines, I have to look to see, is this a client that I'm going to have to spend more time on teaching them about website development, about social media, about promotion, about the business, all of those individual pieces, right? That's going to be a really important piece of the puzzle. I might even get to this point, and whenever I get to a point that I think I might have a client that I want to sign, I'm going to call them, or I might Zoom with them, right? But I want to talk to them and see, where is this person really at? How much are they really interested in working for this as a long-term haul? Because that's really an important piece, right? That's what I want, right? I'm looking for somebody who we can work with. I want to see if this is somebody that, if I were to pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, listen, you know that manuscript we were working on? I found somebody who's interested in it. potentially really likes the story. I need to know, it's a partial right now, how much time is it going to take to get that one finished? Because I need to be able to push this with the editor and saying, for example, yes, this person can have that story finished within a month. Right? And if you're like halfway through a story and I'm going, I want to make sure that you can get this thing done in a month, that's like 30 days. I'm kind of going, I hope this person can pull this thing off because I've got a lot riding on this. And if this person's like, well, it's going to take me at least a year to get around to that point, that's telling me, you know something, this person might not have that stamina that I need to be able to get that manuscript going. I might also say, hey, listen, we're going to have to adjust some schedules. How open are you to adjusting schedules? Or maybe we've got you signed with an editor, and then that editor comes back and says, hey, I've got this great promo option for you, and I want you to consider this. And on the surface, it might look like, you know, this person's not, I'm not going to make a whole lot of money off of it. But the question is, we're not playing for the short term, we're playing for the long term. Is this a promo deal that I'm not going to have to fight you over? That really, this is going to be better for you. So I want to ask you, and I want to find out if this person is open to doing that. We want to make sure that we have somebody who is part of the team, right? That's the big piece, right? This is a team effort. And if you're somebody who says, look, I just want you to do all the work. I'm going to write the story. You just sell the stories. That's it. That might be telling me that this might not be the person for me. Now, another agent might go, you know something? That's perfect. That's exactly what I want, right? I want somebody who's just going to write, and I'll take care of the business side, and they're just going to do the work. So what you have to understand is, in the long run, it isn't just about the story. It's about you as an individual. You are selling yourself to that, to the editor, to the agent. I mentioned this on an earlier video, and this was the one about finding an editor or an agent. Maybe it was that one or the query letter. I don't know. But I posted this one, and I noted an editor that I worked with who specifically said she doesn't sign that book, she's signing the author. And that's what we're shooting for here. We are signing you as an author for this long-term career. So when you think about this, when you think about submitting to somebody, think about what part of this team effort that you're going to be in. I want you to think about how you would answer questions like that, how you might demonstrate that information in your query letter, in that early correspondence with that editor or agent to show that you are part of this team. You can't just say, hi, I'm willing to do whatever I can to sell my book. I see that a lot of times. That doesn't tell me anything. Show it to us. Okay? Remember that phrase that we talk about in writing, show, don't tell. That's what we're focusing in on. Okay? It isn't, again, it's not just about that story. You know something? If your story is good, but professionally, I'm kind of like, this isn't a good match, I hate to break this to you. There's probably another author out there who's got it. I just have to wait for that person to show up. So I want you to think about that piece, because I think that that's really an important one. Okay? So listen, I'm going to get back. I got a baseball game I want to get back to watching right here. But I did want to make sure that we talked about that a little bit, because I did answer some submissions this morning, and I felt, you know, I think this is an important piece. So listen, if you like this episode, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let your friends know about this one. Please definitely do that. Again, the offer that I'm putting out there for everybody is to make sure if you submit that, or if you're subscribing to this, when we hit that 1,000th subscriber, I'm going to be giving a 6-month mentorship to that particular author to give them an opportunity to grow and to learn, to talk about their query letters and things like that. It is not representation, so I want to make sure you're all clear on this one. I am not buying you off to get a representation. I just want to make sure that we get this word out here, okay? So remember, make sure that you do that. If you've got some questions for me, email me at the website. If you've got a submission for me, definitely read my submission guidelines. Those are there for you. I'm on the blog. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. But definitely make sure that you reach out to me. But more importantly, make sure you subscribe to this one. Keep your writing going. Can't stop writing. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.